Now, some people wear fragrances for themselves. It's an olfactory accessory, it's a spirit lifter. They wear fragrances to feel good, to smell good, and because they personally enjoy the fragrance and they also appreciate the artistic components of creating fragrances. However, there's a lot of people who wear fragrances because they want to smell good to others, because they want to get compliments, because they want to attract a mate. These are all fragrances that will do that for you. These are fragrances that quote unquote drive women crazy. I think these fragrances are going to serve you very well if you're interested in getting compliments and also getting positive attention from other people. I'm excited to share this list with you, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's episode and I tell you all about these 10 fragrances that will get you compliments that seem to do very well in terms of generating positive attention from those around you, I do want to start things off by mentioning that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Make sure to hit that bell icon so you can be notified every time I upload videos to the channel. And of course, give this video a thumbs up if you take something of value from today's episode. I also want to mention that if you're interested in sampling most of these fragrances, you may do so at Olfactory Factory NYC. You can purchase them for a really good price. They actually have incredibly discounted prices on a lot of designer and niche fragrances. So I'm going to leave links down below, not affiliate links. I don't make any kickback from you making purchases from that website. I just want to make sure that I'm guiding you in the right direction if you're interested, in fact, in purchasing any of these fragrances. And I do want to start this video with a sort of caveat. That caveat being that at the end of the day, a fragrance is not going to attract a mate for you. A fragrance is not going to get somebody to come back home with you, right? It all has to do with who you are as a person. If you're a good person, if you have a good personality, if your intentions are good, and also if you project yourself with a certain level of confidence. That's really what's going to work at the end of the day. Are you a good person? Are you a sincere person? Are you coming from a good place? And so again, the fragrance is secondary to that, right? And so these are fragrances, however, that have garnered me a lot of compliments. So I'm excited to share this list with you. Now, the first one is going to be a bit of an oddball, and this one also comes with its own caveat. That caveat being that you are probably not going to get a whole lot of compliments if you just applied it. This is a fragrance that works its magic in the dry down, and by Edition de Parfums Frederic Malle, this is called Musc Ravageur. Now, this fragrance is composed by Maurice Roussel, who is one of the best perfumers out there. And this has a beautiful vanilla dry down, but it also has this note of clove in the opening. So it's very bright, herbal, a little spicy. Now, if you can wait an hour for this fragrance to dry down so that clove dissipates, the gourmand vanilla that's left over is one of the most amazing smells that I've put my nose on. So I actually have 2 bottles of this. As you can tell, this one has like 2 milliliters left in it. So I had to purchase another one, but one of my favorite fragrances. I love this so much. I haven't worn it in a long time. So every time I do wear this one, it seems like people compliment me on it, and it's always positive. The next fragrance I want to talk about is by Initio Parfum Privé, and this one is called Rehab. Now, I know people have compared this to Spice Bomb by Viktor and Rolf. I've actually gotten complimented with that fragrance as well, but this fragrance, in addition to another one called Side Effect, also gets me a lot of compliments. So I actually have a tester, so I can conveniently read the notes from the back here. Bergamot, lavender, vetiver, cedarwood, patchouli, guaiac, sandalwood, and musks. This one kind of has this tobacco pink pepper vibe about it. Neither of those 2 notes are actually listed in here, but it's an awesome fragrance, incredibly versatile, and it has certainly landed me a lot of compliments. Now, the next fragrance is going to intrigue people because they're not going to know what they're smelling. It kind of has like this pheromone-like effect. I'm sure all of you have heard about this fragrance by now. By Eccentric Molecules, it's called Molecule 01. Now, this contains an ingredient called Iso-E Super, which has a pheromone-like effect. It's perfect for layering if you want to wear it with another fragrance. And this fragrance, it smells like citrus at times, like vetiver at times, like cedarwood at times. I've actually done an interview with the perfumer Xerjoff. If I remember, I'm going to leave a card to that up here, but awesome fragrance that you can use for layering. A lot of people are actually anosmic to this fragrance. They go nose blind to it, but it's one of those fragrances where you forget about it, you don't smell it for a while, and then all of a sudden you get whiffs of it as though something reactivated it on your skin. It's really an interesting fragrance in terms of the way it works. And I just basically love layering it with any other fragrance. And so, awesome scent. The next fragrance is definitely the most versatile fragrance from this brand by Parfums de Marly. It's Percival. People love this fragrance on me. Every time I wear it to work, what are you wearing? What are you wearing? What are you wearing? And there's only been a couple of Marly fragrances that have done that for me. Percival is definitely at the top of the list. Now, there is another Marly fragrance in here. Might as well talk about it now. And it's Layton. Layton is actually on the sweeter side of things. Vanilla, cardamom, and apple. Now, this fragrance is very youthful, contemporary, young professional, smells like $1,000,000. Layton is the playboy, the clubbing fragrance. You wear this to the club, you wear this on a night out, you smell sexy but flirtatious and mysterious at the same time. Two heavy hitters from Marly, both last a very, very long amount of time. The next fragrance by Xerjoff is called Neo. Now, this fragrance gives you many hours of freshness. And so it's fresh, but it's also intriguing at the same time. There's cardamom in here. And so in addition to that hyper realistic smelling bergamot that comes from Italy, you also get cardamom. And the cardamom gives it this smooth, professional, and elegant vibe. And if you're familiar with fragrances like La Nuit de l'Homme by Yves Saint Laurent, that fragrance has a lot of cardamom. This has the sophistication of cardamom without the powdery quality, which I know is a turn off for a lot of people, both men and women. The next fragrance I want to talk about is easily the best seller from this brand, and for good reason. Very bright, citrusy, the clean vetiver that's in here, the abundance of citrus, and the resolute woods in the base. This one by Rehab Parfums is called Elysium. I own this as well as the stronger concentration, which is right here. I'm missing the cap. If anybody has a cap for me, send me a message. I'd love to buy it from you. The next fragrance I want to talk about, and this one does very, very well. I actually wore this to work about 4 or 5 days ago. This one is Instant Crush by Mancera. So this fragrance kind of smells like Baccarat Rouge 540 by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. I've reviewed that, so I'm gonna leave a card to that up here as well. And this fragrance kind of has that ethyl maltyl cotton candy vibe that you find in Baccarat Rouge, but it's super long lasting and it definitely goes in a direction of its own. If you want a more comprehensive, detailed analysis of the smell, watch the review if you can. But I always get complimented with Baccarat Rouge, and it's one of those fragrances that thankfully doesn't smell too feminine. There are some cotton candy fragrances that smell very, very feminine. Aquilina's Pink Sugar being one of them, but this fragrance, amazing attention that I've gotten from it. So I'm a huge fan. The fragrance in the number 2 spot is actually another fragrance by Xerjoff, speaking of that brand. And this fragrance just has this long-lasting, sensual, decadent, gourmand quality that is bound to get you noticed. It also happens to be very expensive. Sorry about that. I know Factory has fragrances for a really, really good price. Hopefully they have this one for a good price, far below retail, because this one is very pricey. This one is called from the 1717 collection. This one is called Symphonium. Oh boy, this one has Spanish mandarin, Italian orange, Indian cardamom, Belgian chocolate, vanilla from Madagascar, white musk, and a mix of Laotian oud and Thai oud. This fragrance is amazing. One of the best chocolate fragrances on the market. I love Chocolate Greedy by Montal. That is another one that Olfactory Factory carries. It kind of smells like a Ferrero Rocher, but this fragrance, that orange and chocolate combination, is to die for. And the fragrance in the number 1 spot, this fragrance I think does incredibly well because of how long it lasts. And also it does kind of resemble a more popular niche fragrance that has a super high compliment factor, that fragrance being Creed Aventus. This is not Creed Aventus, this is by Electimus London, and it's called Imperium. Now, I've actually gotten complimented by a few Electimus London fragrances, Amber Acalaria being another one, although there was a little bit of ambiguity in the compliment that I received from that, and also Capua. That fragrance has actually gotten me a compliment like, what are you wearing? But this fragrance, like, wow, you smell good. I've also had a person say, that smells strong. So I don't know how to take that. So this is one where you can definitely, because of the concentration, you can afford to be a little bit more conservative with the sprayer. But Imperium by Electimus London is an amazing, amazing, amazing fragrance. If you're looking for compliments, if you're looking for positive attention, Imperium will do that for you. It smells like a gourmand Aventus. It smells like the sweetest batch of Aventus that you can purchase. The vanilla in here is just amazing. So thank you for joining me today. 10 fragrances that quote unquote drive women crazy. Like I said before, it's all about you, your personality, your demeanor, your confidence, how you carry yourself. Are you well groomed? Do you dress well? Are you social? Are you coming into it with the right intentions? Do you have a good personality? All of these things definitely come together and coalesce to determine whether or not you're approachable and if somebody is going to give you a compliment. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you took something of value from today's episode, please, please, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. It would mean so much to me. Hit the bell so you can be notified whenever I do upload future videos to the channel, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It would really mean a lot to me. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.